Welcome back to another podcast of Dream, Ignite, Build. I am your host, Genesis Hey Krick. I'm a high-performance strategist, and I help businesses scale and grow and perform at higher levels. Today, we are going to be talking about building sustainable business systems for scalable growth. And I'm so excited about this because so many organizations are struggling with what kind of systems, what kind of roles these systems play, and what kind of consistency is happening within their organizations to get the results that they want. So systems create consistency. They create predictability, they create efficiency, which are absolutely crucial as a business grows. We want to have structured operations, which ultimately minimize errors and streamline processes and enhance the overall customer experience. So what is the link between systems and scalability? We absolutely need to know. Without proper systems, businesses face difficulties, which ultimately start adhering to their quality. It interferes with that, their quality, their efficiency, and all the things that they are trying to put into place when they are scaling. Systems allow entrepreneurs to delegate efficiently, freeing up their time to focus on strategic growth initiatives. I know for myself, when I and my husband have grown our businesses, when we grew the gyms, we had to look at all of the systems that we were putting into place, from the programs to the staffing to all of the certain aspects of the business that were going to help us to get to that next level of success. Systems, processes, strategy are all necessary. These build the foundation for the business systems that are going to create long-term scalability and growth. How are we going to do that? We want to make sure that we are identifying the core processes that need structure. Every business, every organization is a little bit different. So we want to get really dialed in on what this looks like for us. Core processes including client onboarding, sales, marketing, strategy, customer service, and project management are all aspects of this that really make a difference. Identifying these processes helps us to best understand and pinpoint what areas require more structure. Now, we can get really nitty gritty here and start looking at where we need to optimize, where we need to look at our CRMs, mapping out these processes. But to start, I want us to look at how we can really strategically do this by simplifying. The last thing that I want is for you to be overwhelmed, to feel like you have a lot more stuff to do than what you have to do to start. Okay. So step by step is the way that I do things. The way that I guide my clients from a visual standpoint, as I look at the current processes that they're utilizing and I identify what are the inefficiencies that we need to really hone in on, because a lot of organizations are just running turnkey. There's a lot of things that they're doing that they aren't necessarily diving deep into. What are the communication processes? What does the onboarding look like? What is the client customer experience looking like in terms of the way that the staff engages with them? We have to best understand what these practices are in order for adjustments to be made. So basically, when I'm working with my clients, I tap into what is the process that you're currently using and what adjustments can we make so that they are setting better priorities, setting more boundaries, building effective systems that are, at the end of the day, they're going to help everyone's life become easier. Part of that is leveraging technology and utilizing automation tools. We have so many options out there right now, so many different types of technology that will allow us to streamline our operations. So we just need to decide, what are we going to use? What type of automation tools are we going to utilize within the organization so that we can best get the results that we're looking for? So HubSpot, Salesforce, management platforms such as Asana or Trello, a marketing automation. We want to potentially be looking at MailChimp or Kajabi. These are really great resources that can be used, but we need to decide what's going to be the right fit for our specific organization. I personally use Trello. I navigate that with my clients, also with my staff, my team. We work hand in hand with the Trello boards, and it just makes sense. And I think we need to ask ourselves, what is the culture of the organization that we are leading? And how are we best utilizing these platforms so that it fits with that culture? These tools are going to help us to build better relationship. We're going to be able to track tasks more efficiently, and we're going to be able to optimize marketing efforts by reducing manual workload. We all want less manual workload, right? We want more automated systems. So implementing the right kinds of tools is going to be essential. Assessing the business needs before choosing the tools is very important because we want to make sure that they align with the current types of operations and future scalability goals. If we don't understand what our projected goals are for the future, it's going to be really hard to determine what kind of operations are essential in order to reach those goals. Okay, so clarity is always key, and I will always preface that. I will always start with that in order to understand what tools to integrate. Okay, integrating tools are, in terms of scalability, is going to be what helps you also provide flexibility to yourself and to your team. These are going to be able to provide you advanced features as the company grows. So, as you are scaling, as you are moving into this next level, we need to look at how the software, how the types of systems and automations are going to flow with that. So, flowing into that next phase, we have to prepare ourselves by utilizing the goals, by using the right type of business model, and then bringing those things together. When you have the right business model, it's going to improve your efficiency and productivity. Now, when we are moving into that next place, we have to document our processes for consistency and for the best kind of training that we're going to be implementing with our staff. So, what this documentation is going to do for us is it's going to ensure the consistency and quality, making it easier to onboard new team members and maintain efficiency. Clear documentation, such as the operational procedures, the SOPs, helping minimize mistakes and provides a preference and reference point for employees. So, the more that we look at what we're doing and tracking that, the better off we're going to be in the future. And I know some of this sounds tedious and silly, and why do we have to track all of these things? But guess what? It's going to help us to be more effective in the long run. I use flowcharts, I have checklists, I have some video tutorials that I use with my teams, and this helps to visually and clearly illustrate business processes. If we want to truly be clear and convey a very specific message to our team members, they have to be clear by understanding what those procedures are. How are we going to move forward on this if everybody doesn't know the exact process? We need to have the exact process in place in order to scale, in order to grow. Okay. So, what I like to do is reflect on every single week my daily outcomes sheet. How am I documenting the reflective changes or improvements or systems or ways that we operate together? What is that going to look like? If I am consistently overseeing that and I'm making sure that everything has come together in the appropriate way, then guess what? I'm going to be so much better off in the long run from a leadership standpoint. We can do that with our teams. We can do that even if you're a solopreneur. You can look at your business and you can say, hey, these are the things that I'm tracking. This is working, this isn't working, and I need to determine where I need more support. So that's part of why we do this is so we can delegate effectively. Building a scalable team means that we need to establish strong roles and responsibilities for those that are going to help us support this vision, this dream, these big goals. So the way that we do this is clearly define the roles within the team to ensure those tasks are assigned based on skills and capacity. If we don't have the right people in the right places, we are not going to be able to scale the way that we want to. What this is going to do is enable efficient delegation to the right kinds of people. Taking the time to do this, although it's not fun, it's going to make better kinds of results in the long run. And that's what we all want. We want things to flow. We want things to be clear. We want direction on what we are creating. Systems for accountability is going to help your team grow. It's going to help your team flourish. And that's why we always want to make sure that we have some type of task management software to assign, track, and monitor these tasks. How are we going to be accountable to each other? How are we going to know who's doing what if there's no way to track each other? So the way that we do that is fostering with a culture of communication and collaboration where team members understand their contributions. What are they contributing to the overall business? I know for myself, when I've worked for a variety of different organizations in the past, and when I had the opportunity to be able to speak, to be heard, to feel like I mattered, that's when I was more involved. That's when I gave the best possible effort to the team. So we want to make sure that all of our employees are heard, that they can share their experiences, they can glean from each other, they can attain more skill sets, they can build on what they are currently creating, whatever that foundation is, and we then can perform at higher levels. If you are doing this consistently with your team, you're going to be able to monitor the performance and you're going to be able to adjust where necessary. As we scale, as we grow, we can measure our KPIs that reflect business health. And that, at the end of the day, is what's going to help us understand where are the sales conversions happening? What is our customer retention like? And what is the operational efficiency of the things that we have put into place? Regular review of these metrics help us to best evaluate our team so that we can be the most effective. What are the ways that we can really hone in on what they are doing so that we can improve and make adjustments where necessary? If we take the time from a leadership standpoint to really get a bird's eye view of what our team is doing, and we can understand all of the different types of areas that can be improved from the team building aspect all the way to the optimization in our systems, we are going to get a pretty great idea of what we need to do in order to be prepared to adapt to that next level. The way that we grow and ensuring that we remain efficient and scalable is by getting people involved, involving team members in the review process rather than just saying, hey, I want to gather some insight and feedback. Get people involved. Let them know that they matter. Let them know that their opinion is important in all the things that they are doing daily. As a contributor, as someone that is helping to build, grow, and scale a business, it's important for every voice to be heard. And at the end of the day, KPIs are going to help us refine our systems for long-term success. And then finally, establishing a culture of continuous improvement. We all want to improve. We all want to get better. And mindset is a huge part of what's going to help us to continue to improve. Building the scalable systems is one aspect of this through the ongoing process that's going to require us to level up from automation to outsourcing to all of the things. But mindset is going to create a culture where people feel valued. The mindset of continuous improvement in the way that we are working with our teams. How are we working in a way that are we focusing on growing versus just being stagnant? Are we doing the work that just requires us to get by? Are we being innovative? Innovation is encouraged and it keeps us on track with where we are going. It helps us to evolve as a team. I love the idea of getting team members constantly engaged. When they are engaged, the process is going to be improved. We're going to have the opportunity to encourage them. We're going to have the chance to really get inside of them to understand what are the challenges, what are the things that are coming up that are really inefficient, that just aren't working for the business or the organization. In my experience, promoting ownership and allowing potential incentives is such a huge part of growing your business. So this allows for accountability. This allows for more support within the organization. And it really ensures that everyone can be aligned with the company's growth goals and system improvements. So there's a variety of different ways that we can do this. There's so many different opportunities for bringing in, helping your team to truly lean into the vision. But what you need to decide, if you're a business owner or if you are in a leadership role, that you have the ability to be able to change the culture of your organization simply by understanding that there is so much here to utilize. Never before has there been a time where we've had more tools in our toolkit, more opportunities to gain information on how to build, scale, and grow than there is today. Thank you so much for tuning in today to our second episode of Dream Ignite Build. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Dream Ignite Build, and also to follow us on Instagram at Genesis Hey Krick, where we provide all kinds of tips, tricks, and tools to increase your performance.